HyperDot is a 2D puzzle game that sees you trying to dodge shapes and stay alive in various arenas. Made by Tribe Games, it's a real callback to computer flash games, simplicity at its core. And definitely worth saying up front, it has extensive accessibility settings. It describes itself as a minimalist game, and that really comes through in its design. Slick and clear, it puts the gameplay literally at the centre of everything. Cutting back on the fluff, you know exactly what you're doing after 20 seconds of playing. Your task is to guide your circle around the Petri dish-like play space, avoiding all of the shapes. Red squares travel in a straight line from where they are introduced, orange pentagons head directly towards you but don't deviate once fired, pink triangles will follow you around, keeping you on the move, and crosses enter, spin, and break off into 4 directions. These different enemies are slowly introduced to you as you rise through the lower levels, like vaccines preparing you for their real onslaughts. These shapes then begin to combine to pose new challenges. Different combos require new tactics. The game is engaging, and overcoming a challenging level comes with a good sense of achievement. It's so simple and quick to respawn that failure is never usually too frustrating. Just laugh it off and try again. It can be an addictive loop. It's not only the enemies that can switch it up, but the arenas and your own dot too. The surface you play on can transform itself into an ice rink, meaning you can never stop moving. It can be plunged into darkness, surrounding you with the only light source, enemies catching you out as they creep into your light. It's worth mentioning how pretty these shadow effects are. Lovely. The space you can move around in can be increased and decreased as well as the size of your dot itself. So you're not only tasked with just surviving. There are 3 modes. One, yes, is to survive for the allotted time. The second sees you having to collect an amount of tokens to pass to the next level. These spawn randomly and take time to appear, needing you to round them up as they do. Finally, there is a mode where you have to spend enough time inside designated areas, King of the Hill style, to fill up a bar to 100%. Power-ups also add a bit more flair to the occasion after the first quarter of levels. These consist of giving you a shield, permitting an extra piece of health, blowing up all opposition shapes in your vicinity, and the ability to slow down time. These variations help to keep the game more fresh, the next level always guaranteed to be somewhat different from the last. Whilst the game has 100 levels, which on the whole ramp upwards in difficulty, you'll do well to be stuck on any for more than 2 or 3 attempts before the 40th level, and after that it's still pretty smooth sailing, although random difficulty spikes appear, putting progression out of kilter somewhat. It could be that level 48 was a real challenge, taking a good number of attempts, but then the next one where you'll get stuck at will be 55. Part of the reason for this can be the way that some levels are generated randomly. Towards the higher end of levels, whether an attempt will be successful can come down more to luck than skill. Skill is obviously completely necessary, but take for example this level where I had to collect 3 tokens. As the 3rd token appears, the difficulty ramps up with the introduction of more shapes. Doing this level over and over, I learned that the only way I was going to succeed depended on how close the final token spawned to me. If I didn't have to go too far round, I would have a much better chance. It's a small gripe, but taking success away from your ability and giving at least part of it to luck can be a tad frustrating. Fortunately, the music that plays in the background as all this is going on can keep you on the right track, calming at the right times and urging you onwards, pumping you up at others. Once you're done playing, there is a cool level creator with simple tools in order to create your own levels. You realise quickly that creating more complicated levels is more hard work than you may have realised. With a little practice, you can create great levels to play outside of the 100 campaign ones. And these can then be taken to multiplayer and played with up to 4 friends along with a selection of levels from the campaign. It's good couch play action, and the speed of who is winning can change so quickly, making it frenetic fun. Ultimately, HyperDot is a slick and satisfying puzzler. It hooks you in with an addicting cycle of success as you quickly climb the lower levels. Its minimalist charm centres in on solid gameplay, which variables proceed to steadily challenge you more and more, aside from the occasional out-of-step spikes in difficulty. The issue is, it's basic. Yes, its style is minimalist, but that also translates to minimal content. 100 campaign levels are eaten away pretty quickly. I got to level 70 in one 90-minute sitting. $20 or £15 for something that you can play a similar version on for free on the internet, or a couple pound via a mobile game, is hard to swallow. I give HyperDot a 6.5 out of 10. Have you played this game? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing. See you later.